What's up everybody, Bandit and Chad here for another Taco Tuesday. Now you will be seeing this video a little bit later, but we do think it's worth it, and we're finally getting a little stretch of good weather so we can actually show all of you this topper and exactly how I've been getting along with it. So if you missed a video from, what was it, 2 weeks ago now?
About, yeah.
I did get a soft topper. That's what you might be able to see out the back window there. And it's been on my truck for the past 2 weeks. We have been seeing some of the effects of Hurricane Florence. Obviously, our friends in North and South Carolina got the worst of it, but we did get some winds here and some rain, and I wanted to really put this thing through the test before I gave you all my impressions of it. You know, how dry is it? Does it have wind noise? Do you see any effects to the MPG? Does the truck drive any different? Anything like that? And to start with, you might be able to see this Softopper and the Softopper brand in general does not have any kind of windows out the side of the topper. So you do have a plastic window there in the front, you have a plastic window in the back, and from my rear view mirror you can see all the way back. But when you are going to like look over your shoulder or something like that, the topper is visible. Now in general, I do think these access cab trucks have a little bit better visibility than the double cabs, generally because when you turn around you can see more outside that back window instead of kind of that strange kind of C-pillar area, right, like you have in your truck. But with this topper on, you don't necessarily have all of the same visibility. Now with that being said, you can still see out the back. It does take some getting used to, and if you have the technology package on your truck, those blind spot monitors do help, but it is one thing to keep in mind. Now you might be thinking some of the competition does have windows in their sides of their soft topper and in their hard toppers, and you would be correct. Obviously the biggest competitor to the soft topper is Best Top's version, but to be completely frank with you all, I don't think the Best Top has the same fit and finish. After having this thing on my truck for 2 weeks, there's no kind of creases, there's no kind of flapping or anything like that, and from what I've read on Tacoma World, most people have a similar experience. They do have a great fit and finish here from the Softopper brand. Now the Best Top, I've seen kind of mixed reviews on that. Some of them look great, some of them look subpar to say the least, and maybe that's just different experience, maybe that's different people putting them on their vehicles, but this is a completely honest review of what I've seen with both of those toppers. Now, in terms of fuel economy here with this topper, I was kind of under the impression that we would see some kind of improvement. You know, generally SUVs are regarded as more aerodynamic than trucks, and I thought this would make it more similar to an SUV, but actually we saw a little bit of a decrease. So if you remember from my last update video regarding my OV tune, we were averaging right around 19 miles a gallon, somewhere in there. Now my roommate was driving my truck a little bit because his vehicle was getting worked on, so you have kind of the difference in different drivers, but I was able to put roughly 500 miles on the truck with the topper on, and we're down to 18.5. So again, this was through some pretty serious weather, kind of an array of different conditions, but that is what we've been seeing. Really not a huge difference, but it is one thing to keep in mind if you did want to install one of these on your truck. You're not going to be seeing any huge improvements. It might stay the same, you might see a slight decrease. Now in terms of wind noise, we're going almost 50 miles an hour here, between 45 and 50, and you can hear my tires, but there's absolutely no noise that comes out of the top. I've had the truck up to about 80 miles an hour. There's no kind of flapping. You do get a little bit of that suction look. You might be familiar with that on, say, a soft top Jeep Wrangler, where the sides kind of suck in a little bit because of the air pressure difference, but there is no sort of flapping or any kind of annoying noise with it at all that I've seen. Even with strong headwinds going at highway speeds, everything is safe and sound. And actually everything has stayed relatively dry in my bed as well. I have been transporting a lot of different stuff, from furniture to sporting goods toys, my bow and that kind of stuff, but none of that stuff has gotten wet, and honestly I'm very, very impressed. I haven't even gotten a chance to put the seam sealer on it. I wanted to just do a review straight out of the box, and everything has been extremely dry with this soft topper. Alright, so to get in the back of here, obviously you saw me do this in the last video, but you just grab both these corners, undo the Velcro, and throw the top up and over. Obviously at that point you can lower your tailgate. You might notice that I did put the Velcro on the underside of the tailgate and again up there in the front of the bed. I was kind of curious about this. I wasn't super excited about sticking that Velcro to my truck, especially the paint here, but I figure as long as I keep it waxed and everything clean, there shouldn't be any kind of ill effects. Now, the only spot that we actually did see water get in the truck was in each of these corners. You might be able to see some of the water stains, but there's holes in the bed. Obviously both of these storage boxes here have holes in them. There is a visible hole right there in the corner. I'm not sure if that will show up on camera, but the bed itself is not entirely watertight, and as a result of that you do get a little bit of water in the bed. Now that is no fault of the topper. Again, I was going down the highway with the rain pouring down and nothing around the top got wet. It was just a little bit there on the load floor. Now obviously if you do have the bed mat here in your Tacoma, that will keep all of your cargo up off the bed floor, so it does make it a little bit better. But that is one thing to keep in mind. You know, if you did want to completely water seal this, you would need some sort of water sealant to go around your actual bed the way it comes from Toyota. Now, with Chad here to help me out, we are going to take this topper entirely down. We did get the boot cover, which is an option. Basically, this is a tonneau cover for your top. So we will take this down. This is the first time that either one of us have done this. So we might be kind of fiddling around with it more than you all, because I'm sure you all are experienced with this soft topper. But stay tuned and we'll show you all the process. This one. So according to Softopper, you do have these safety straps. They do recommend that you hook the back safety strap, the one that came off back there where Chad is, up to the front so this thing can't blow off the back. But again, we will be using the boot cover that Chad has. Again, it is kind of just a tonneau cover, goes around here and keeps everything nice and neat, and we'll go ahead and put that on now. We gotta get the straps up the back. Let's pick this up. So with this boot cover in place, again, more product branding there from Softopper, but everything does look really nice. It has a nice fit and finish to it. I really like how these straps are adjustable to give everything a nice tight finish. We did remove the rear window bar here. That makes it fit in the boot cover a little better. But this took Chad and I roughly 2 minutes. There was no Herculean strength involved.
No, I mean, for two guys, it's not a difficult process at all. It seemed to be pretty easy.
Right, and I'm sure the more you do this, the better off you will be. I'm sure several of you all watching have done this countless times, but all this can just stay, the aluminum bars here up the side. The only thing holding it on the truck at all right now is just this pin. We'll remove that when we get home and show you all that process. But overall, everything's tidied up. It took roughly 2 minutes, and overall, a pretty easy process. Guys, so we are back home here. Everything is in the garage, and we'll go ahead and take this thing entirely off the truck. So Chad, if you'll assist me here, we're going to go around, take these, basically, keychain ring off. Alright, then push it inwards around that pin and go ahead and pick her up. Now with the topper off here, you can see some of that Velcro. I tried to center it to make it look as good as possible, but obviously it doesn't look great there with Velcro on the back of my truck. But that really is the only downside. These aluminum bed rails can stay in place. However, if you did want to remove them, it's only 4 bolts here for each one of these clamps on each corner, and you could have the whole thing up and out of the way. But for me and my lifestyle, I think this should be good enough. And again, it will make the topper go on a little bit easier if you go ahead and leave these in place. So with this thing entirely off the truck, it did take, all in all, maybe 5 minutes at most. And it wouldn't necessarily take 2 people, but it certainly makes it a little bit less cumbersome. Now, this is truly the beauty of the Softopper, in my opinion. You know, hard toppers are great. I think they certainly have their use. But for me and my lifestyle, you know, putting big things in the bed, having somewhere to sleep, back and forth between the two, and any combination thereof, this is certainly really, really convenient. You know, if you would show up at Lowe's or something like that and have to get something large, you can simply throw it to the front of the bed like we just showed you, put this boot cover on it, put whatever you need in the bed, and drive home, and pop it back up when you get home. Now, again, if you would have a hard topper, this would be a little bit more challenging to say the least. Hard toppers generally weigh between 200 and 300 pounds, and that is not really a one-man job no matter how you slice it. They really are heavy. I've been on the receiving end of trying to get one of those off, and it is not easy. And again, those do still leak. None of those are perfect. I hate to say it, but if you want a vehicle that doesn't leak with an enclosed back end, you're better off buying a 4Runner. And that's just the way it is. If you have a truck bed, it's bound to get wet at some point or another. And there is certainly a lot of utility in a truck bed, but occasionally you do want some kind of cover on it, and I think this is a great option. Now, if you do have any questions regarding the install, please be sure and check out that other video. We will put a link to that in the description of this video. But overall, I am very, very pleased with it. We do have a lot of content coming. We are going to set up an overland setup in the back of my truck that is kind of easy to install and easy to take down, very similar to the idea of the Softopper in general. You see a lot of these overland truck builds, and it's basically a permanent structure once you get done with that. Again, hauling my 4-wheeler, going hunting and everything like that, I want to have a little bit of versatility where I could have this in my truck in a moment's notice, but still have the utility of my truck if I so choose to use it that way. And we certainly have a lot of work ahead of us, but I think this is a great first step. So as always, leave any questions or comments in the comment section of this video. We do really appreciate the support. So if you did enjoy the video, hit the like and subscribe buttons. We love hearing your all's comments and seeing all of your all's feedback in the comment section of each video. And we definitely don't want you to miss any of our content. So thank you all very much for watching. Have a fantastic week, everybody. We'll catch you next time.
See you guys.